All right. So speaking of social networks, we were lamenting the demise of Path earlier. How about this for a new one? It's called Friended. We piqued Kirk's interest. Friended. It's a new social network that wants to get real. This coming via TechCrunch. And the concept of Friended is to take a totally different strategy towards the social media concept, away from the public posting, the kind of searching for likes type of posting, and instead to move certain conversations private, where you could potentially be more vulnerable instead of chasing likes. It wouldn't be all the best moments only. You hop on Instagram, Will, everybody's winning, just crushing the universe. Mm-hmm. You hop on Instagram.
Yeah, and then I feel terrible.
I'm just on a beach right now. Who, me? I'm in first class. Oh, you're looking at me? I'm just eating shrimp. You know how it goes.
Oh, yeah. It's like, weren't you on that beach, 6 months ago? Like,
oh, yeah, that's the other thing. People, they save it up, right?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I'm not on there like that for the most part, but they save it up to make it even worse. They're sitting right beside you. They're right over there, and they're on the beach at the same time. That's rude, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's drabby outside. It's gray, but they're on the beach in virtual land, in influencer land. They're on the beach. Anyway, on Friended, users can post to the community about what they're thinking or feeling. But rather than catalyze a town hall-style group conversation, members of the community can respond privately to that post, offering their insights, anecdotes, or advice. The idea is to give people a chance to share how they really feel in a vulnerable, one-to-one setting.
Like this person right here?
Did we all forget about real life? Did we forget about actual one-to-one? You got to provide people with an opportunity for a one-to-one connection? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Provide people a chance to have a one-to-one setting. What? Huh? Or have we just resigned to the idea that it's impossible for us in real life now? We can't. What? One-to-one? Mm-hmm. Crazy. Once again, I'm a boomer. Boomer here.
Yeah.
Because I talk to people in life sometime.
Yeah. They're trying to recreate the experience of a one-to-one connection.
Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh. Let me back up.
Maybe some people just don't want like a
face-to-face, some people it comes less
real life.
Some people it comes less easy to get out there and start shouting and whatnot. It's not like it is for you, Will. For everybody can't do what you do.
It's like a keyboard warrior.
Yeah, so in that sense, it is good to talk to people. Any way you can, it's good. It's nice to talk to people. Even if you have to do it. I don't know. Is that true? No, it's not. I just can't. No, it's not, Will. You got to talk to people in real life, I think. At least.
Yes.
I don't think there's a way around that. It's something about how dynamic communication is with the minor muscle movements and the warmth that you feel and the feedback you create of the nuance of communication. Mm-hmm. There is no virtual equivalent for the time being, as much as these various companies aim to create it. There's always going to be something lacking, a little piece in there. And you're going to think maybe you have it until you realize it's missing. Mm-hmm. And then that gets dark in a moment.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do it. Who knows? I didn't try the thing. I'm reading about it. So keep that in mind. I'm not trying to bury the thing either. Maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a purpose. Maybe somebody is... Let's take, for example, Will, it's some really sensitive topic. and a person truly feels like there's nobody that exists in their life they can bring that to, maybe that is better to put in public in any way, in any forum. I don't know. So you could create a circumstance in which something like this could be useful regardless.
So how's it work? Maybe you have like a taboo conversation you want to talk about.
Well, like just like the image that you're
Online.
showing right there.
But
I
then-
find it hard to talk about myself honestly. That's the social media post. Now the person, rather than a stream of comments underneath, go get them, honey. You got this. You're so beautiful. Whatever.
Right?
The person replies privately. So therefore, the reply itself doesn't have to be a new broadcast where that person has to fit the social protocol of the bigger conversation. Instead, they themselves can be equally vulnerable. So the person could come back and say, I feel the same way too sometimes, which they might not be willing to write in a public comments section. And without having the thread available to you, they probably wouldn't go through the hoops to jump to a private message and say, hey, I saw your post. It's to encourage the idea of, well, some level of privacy, the same way you would communicate in real life, really, which
Right.
is you may respond to something someone says publicly, privately.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. But anyway, is it really, I don't know how innovative it is. Here's the interesting part. Users can only post a conversation starter every 8 hours in its current version. And the way around that is a premium tier, which costs $5 a week.
Oh,
And no, but hang on. The reason I believe is because they don't want to be advertising driven. Because when you're advertising driven, then you got to have the hot posts with the hot likes, and you got to have the huge user base, which in many ways, the argument is informs the type of behavior which ends up taking place on sites like Instagram. Because if it's all about impressions and activities, then you need to select for the beaches and the shrimp. I mean, I don't know how well the shrimp post is going to do. It depends what kind of shrimp I'm working with here.
yeah.
But I did have shrimp the other day, 3,000 miles at the Korean barbecue, and it was delicious. So there is that.
And you're posting Instagram
No, I didn't
pictures
post
on
it. See, I didn't post it. I just come here, I tell you.
Making people jealous.
I
like
just
me.
come here, I tell you. Maybe I'm old school. Boomer here.
I feel like this could be like a dating thing.
Doesn't everything become that? You know?
Yeah.
Facebook wants to become a dating thing as well. Then how much dating is going on? How long? How are you? You're dating, you know.
Yeah.
Friended has raised $500,000 in a seed round from investors, and they're not saying how many monthly active users they have, but they are saying they have 500,000 registered, and that 500,000 registered has an average of 11 sessions per day per user in the beta. 2.5 million messages were sent last month. I don't know. Maybe it takes off. Maybe this is what people need in their lives. I think people need to get out in the world and mix it up every so often. Not all the time. It's fine. But every so often, you have a conversation. You throw a few words around.
Why not?
It ain't so bad. You take a few words, you chuck them. You throw a Hail Mary, why don't you? Coming back to the last episode. Willie do. Teaching the world.